and recording now, Mayor.
Okay. Not seeing Doug.
It looks like we're missing Doug and Topaz.
Yep. But we do have a quorum, so we could start. That's a good thing. And we probably will, because this is it's just legalities on this one.
Yep.
Yep. Is Sue, or is it Mohammed, or who is Sue Nelson?
I think Sue was going.
Yep, I see her. I see her there. Okay.
Sue, are you going to chime in during the public hearing?
Yeah, I was anticipating that I would.
Okay.
Yes, I'm actually turning it over to you, Sue, because you're going to kind of explain why we're here and what the process is.
Yeah,
Very simple.
That's what I thought. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because I was unaware that I was doing it, if I was doing it, and I don't have my.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the first time, Rick.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and call this public hearing to order because it is 6:45. And the topic is exemption from competitive bid requirements for Campbell Park Sports Court installation project. And now I'm going to turn it over to our city engineer, Sue Nelson.
Hi, thank you, Mayor.
Yep.
And as you mentioned just a moment ago, this is just a formality, legality regarding the Campbell Park Sport Courts installation project. So just to give anybody who might not have the background on this particular project a little bit of insight on why we're doing this is we have a grant to put in some new tennis courts, multi-sport courts. So it would be tennis / pickle court, basketball / volleyball court in Campbell Park, along with some other improvements in the park. We put together contract documents and put this project out to bid in August of last year. And we received no bids on that project. So we put it out to bid a second time. We advertised further. In both cases, we sent the project documents to plan centers all throughout the state of Oregon and Washington. And the second time we advertised in the Daily Journal of Commerce, which is a statewide commercial publication for specifically, most bids go in that particular documentation or in that particular publication. So we advertised a second time, made a lot of phone calls. We left the project bids open for a longer period of time and we still received no bids. So we turned to our attorney and said, now what do we do to get this project rolling so that we can actually get a contractor to do the work, because we have grant money just sitting here waiting to be spent. So based on the Oregon revised statutes and the rules for competitive bidding, and also the city's rules for public procurement, the attorney prepared this draft findings for the exemption from competitive bidding that addresses all of the criteria in both the Oregon revised statutes and the city municipal code regarding public bidding. So that's what this public hearing is for, is to allow anybody to comment or put up any sort of protest, or if they have any issues with the city going out for a direct procurement. In other words, we would attempt to contact a minimum of 3 contractors that would be qualified to do this work and get bids directly from them instead of advertising and going out again in the normal public bidding process. So that's where we're at right now. And this public hearing is to allow people to make a comment if anybody wanted to do so. We also allowed comments to be submitted in writing. Those were due yesterday afternoon at 4 o'clock. And I did check with Kathy earlier today and we received no comments on
Okay.
this particular.
So let me see our participants list here. I am not seeing. I see a 15036804239 on a phone. Do we want to unmute them, Matt, and just see if they're here for
Yeah,
public comment,
I can
please?
only ask them to unmute. I can't directly. unmute
Okay,
them, so.
if you are hearing me, listening in, and your number is 503-680-4239, and you are calling to comment, please unmute yourself, because you're the only one I see that would have a comment to make on this. I do see a Scott now. And Scott, if you are here, or if you hit participants on the Zoom, you can raise your hand if you're here to make a comment. And again, I think it was pretty evident that we had. So Sue, do we have to have 3 applicants that we go to now to ask for bids from?
We are required to at least attempt to get 3 bids. And so far, I actually received a call from a contractor today asking about the project. I told him I wouldn't be able to talk to him until tomorrow. Once this hearing was over and then the council deliberations of whether or not you want to accept the draft findings or not. And then earlier, after the second bidding closed, Jenny Dimshow, who is administering the grant on this, she also received a phone call from a contractor who was interested in the project. Now, why they weren't interested during the bidding process, I can't explain that, but the contractor that contacted me today, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, maybe some of the smaller guys aren't used to that process, because the bigger companies, of course, you know, I mean, it's a fairly decent project.
It's a decent project.
Yeah.
The contractor who contacted me earlier today indicated that it was, as far as the earthwork and things like that went, it was a pretty small contract for a larger firm to take on. And then of course they'd have to partner with a firm that could apply the surfacing and all of the striping and everything that was required for the different sports. So it was too big of a project for those surfacing companies to take on, because they don't have the earthwork and that type of equipment to do, and a very small project for the earthwork companies. But this particular company had already said they've been talking to one of the court installers already, and we haven't even gotten to the point
Good.
where we're able to discuss any sort of costs or anything.
Yeah.
So at least we have somebody interested, and we will certainly contact other contractors that we're either currently working with or that we've successfully worked with in the past that might have this type of experience.
Okay. Any other questions for Sue from the council? Okay, I'm not hearing any. Sue, I'm going to go ahead and close this public hearing. So this public hearing is closed.